Hey, 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 hey. Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. You know what it is? It's Talk It Out Tuesday on the Noontime My Time podcast. Yes, with Tori and Miss Tonya. We here today. We here for you. We got a topic for you. Now, today, to get into this vibe, to be able to enter into this vibe, your admission today is truth. That's right. So get on in here, but you got to share some. You got to tell the truth because we've got some questions. We're asking questions, right? What we're getting in today is just friends, platonic relationships. Can men and women be just friends? Can they? Do you have a male or female friend of the opposite sex and you guys are just friends? How are we navigating that? Let me know. We're going to be talking about all of the ins and outs, the myths, the truth, and everything in between. This is episode 50 of the Noontime My Time podcast. Yes, it is. And we've got stuff to talk about. But before we get into it, we're going to do what we always do here. You know what we do. We got to take a little bit of our time back. We got to just relax into it, shake some of that funk off that has gotten on us if it has today already, and just breathe. Breathe. And then we're going to get in this conversation. Y'all ready? What I want you to do is inhale to the count of 4. And we're going to hold it for a few seconds. And then we're going to exhale. And we'll hold that for a few seconds. And we'll repeat that a few times. Now, you can close your eyes if you're in a place that you can do that. And I want you to do that if you're driving. Don't do that if you're driving. Don't do that if you're actually sitting at the desk. If you got your head pods on and you're taking a listen, we'll vibrate with us and listen. But if you can close your eyes, close your eyes. You want to take it a step further, put your hands over your heart and feel that you are alive. That's you. Let's get into it. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale again. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. One more time. Let's inhale. Hold it a few seconds. And exhale. Yeah. Doesn't that feel great? It feels better than great. Feels real, real good. We got a good conversation for you here today. The title of this episode is Just Friends. Platonic relationships. Now, check this out. According to the Oxford Dictionary, right? This is what platonic friendship means. And I'm just letting you know from Oxford, okay? Because I didn't make this thing up, all right? It's an adjective of love or friendship, intimate and affectionate, but not sexual. The relationship is purely platonic. Now, you've heard this before. You've heard about it. You've heard it. But is it true? Is there any truth to this? Can a man and a woman be just friends? Platonic friends, that is. And to be clear, just so that we're on the same page, I want you to just hear this definition one more time from the Oxford Dictionary. It's an adjective of love or friendship, intimate and affectionate, but not sexual. All right now, y'all. All right, Tori and I are right here for you. Yes, we are. Talk It Out Tuesday. Let me bring Tori into the mix here. What's up, Tori?
What it do? What it do? What it do? What up, y'all? What up, Miss Tanya? What up, T? I'm so glad to be here. You know, I look forward to Tuesdays.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We got a topic here for the people today, and I feel like the people are ready to talk about it.
They are. I was
Yeah.
reading the comments. Ooh, they're ready. They're ready. They're ready. I was reading the comments and I was like, ooh, I hope some people that were in the comments, I really hope y'all show up and show out. because those comments, I was like, clutching my pearls. So I'm gonna need y'all to show out how you did in them comments for the promo. Please show up in the show.
Hey, listen. Some people, people might get a little nervous when it comes to the live sometimes. We've got some people who be in here and they here to share the message and everything. But, you know, if not, it's all good. We understand. But let me ask you a question because I'm curious. Do you have any platonic relationships?
Absolutely. Some of my male friends are some of my best friends. And one thing about true male friends, you can talk to them about, get that male perspective on different things, especially when it comes to relationships. They're going to give you a answer. Sometimes we don't always want to hear it, but they're going to give it to you raw and uncut. And I love
Mhm.
that about my male friends. They tell me the truth when I don't want to hear. Like, I know you don't want to hear this, but
You're right.
but so it's absolutely true that we can have male friends and we're just friends. There's no attraction or anything. They never said anything out of the way. We're just friends. And I love those male friends that are just friends.
Hmm. Hmm. I can dig that, and I can relate to that a little bit. Because when we think about those platonic relationships, those are those friendships that, believe it or not, you still have an emotional closeness, right? And of
Hmm.
course, you got to have that mutual respect. But there's just not
Absolutely.
any romantic or sexual attraction within that relationship. And two, there are conditions that come along with platonic relationships. And so that's going to depend on the individuals involved, of course. And you've got to set those and you've got to be able to follow them. You know what I mean? Um,
Absolutely.
I feel like one of the key things in a platonic relationship is going to be that mutual respect.
Absolutely.
Um, Almost every friendship basically is going to have that, but in this particular relationship that's very important. And that means that you're going to have to respect each other's boundaries, your values and your beliefs. But when I think about it, and we're going to get into it because I know a lot of people are going to have their different opinions, but that emotional intimacy that you really get involved with when you have a platonic relationship. Let's talk a little bit about how deep that emotional connection can be and and um how does that really make you feel? Do the feelings change? How did you get to those feelings? I think we need to talk about that. Was there an attraction? Are you denying an attraction? Let's stop at this emotional intimacy here a minute. What are your thoughts?
Well, the male friends that I have that are true male platonic male friends, there is an attraction that I look at them as a brother from another mother, so to speak. But let me say this, let me have a transparent moment. I have
Mhm.
had a male friend before where I was like, man, because friendship in relationships, friendship is the foundation to can be the foundation to some of the most beautiful friend relationships.
Yeah.
But I had a friend, and I'm like, hey, he's nice looking, and he's a good dude. He has a good heart. He's giving, understanding, caring. Like, you know how we have a list and we check off certain things? He was
Yeah.
checking off everything on the list, and he had the audacity to look good.
Ooh.
I was like, "Lord help me."
So basically there was an attraction on your part.
Yes, one friend in particular, there was an attraction. So because the attraction, this particular friend, because the attraction was so strong, I had to fall back a little bit because, I didn't want to, get to that point where you had to cross that line. Because, sometimes when you cross the line, it could damage the friendship.
Right.
So this particular person, I just, it was getting, and especially sometimes when you have that attraction, sometimes you can see a lot of things that they don't see. And let me break that down. What I mean, like there
Mhm.
was this particular person that was trying to, holler at them. They was like, wow, Tori, you reading more into it. And come to find out, he's like, man, you were right. You see, because we know how we as women we pay attention more to what they say, how they say it. We pay attention to the body language. And I was seeing a lot of things that he like, nah, you reading too much in it. As it turned out, he's like, Tori, man, you was right.
Wow.
And then in certain situations, there was a moment where I found myself getting a little jealous. I'm like,
Ooh.
what? That my friend. Why I'm getting jealous? Yeah, I had to fall back. I'll be
So let
honest,
me
I had
ask
to
you a
fall back.
question though. I gotta
Yeah.
ask you this
Okay.
because this is important in a platonic relationship. And you said you guys were friends, so you did have that
Mhm.
attraction, or you felt yourself going to that attraction, and you end up
Yeah.
falling back a bit. But did you communicate that with him?
I did. I did. I did. I really
Okay.
did.
Okay.
I
So I just
did.
wanted to make sure that, you communicated that because just like I said, or like we know actually, all friendships have to have that key component of communication because that's the only way you're gonna have a healthy relationship. And
Absolutely.
particularly platonic relationships, right? You
Yeah.
gotta be honest. And that lack of sexual attraction, or it either has to be a lack of a sexual attraction, or because I believe this too, you just have to have a respect and a control of that attraction. You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Mhm.
Right, and that's gonna have to be with both parties. Both
Mhm.
parties have to be able to do that, and both parties are gonna have to be honest, you know?
Right, right, right. Absolutely. And
Let me
then,
ask
go ahead, I'm sorry.
well, I was gonna ask you if, when you brought it I don't know if I'm going too deep, so you can say, "Whoa, let's go somewhere
No,
else."
go
Okay?
for it, go for it.
But when you communicated your attraction with him, right?
Mhm.
Um,
What
in
was his
terms of
response?
well, I wasn't gonna exactly ask that, but if you wanna share that.
No, go ahead and ask me what you was gonna ask first.
I was gonna say, in respect to his response, were did you feel like you would be in a place where you could maintain a relationship from his point of view? Did he feel like he could maintain the relationship with that?
Yes. We actually, when I did express how I was feeling, he was like, "Really?" Because I never even though I felt that way, he would have never known had I not said anything because I didn't give off that type of vibe at all. I'm like, "What's up, homie?" You know how you get a fist bump and all that? Like, I
Mhm,
didn't give it so he would never have known had I not said it. He was like, "Really?" And so we had a conversation. Of course, he was like, "Well, I think you're a nice person, but I don't feel the same way." But
mhm.
I was able to accept it for what it is because you may feel a certain way about, but that doesn't mean they feel the same way about you. So I was able to accept that. He was
Right.
he was like he was like because you're my friend, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be honest. He said you would want me to tell you the truth. I wouldn't want to lie to you because you are my friend. But he was honest. He was like, "Well, I don't feel the same way." And I was like, "That's cool." And till this day, we're still friends. We're still friends. But like I said, initially, when I first told him, I had to fall back a little bit because the attraction was very strong. But now we cool.
That's what's up, because let me tell let me tell you something. Typically typically, as we know, most men will go for that opportunity to if nothing else, to at least smash.
Right.
They're on that they'll take that opportunity as an in, and regardless of where it takes the relationship, if it goes further or not,
Mhm.
typically they will take that opportunity to smash, so you can know that that was really, really a friend, you know?
Right, absolutely, because like you said, he coulda took advantage of that, and he was
Right.
like, "No, you're my friend, Imma be honest with you, and I don't wanna take advantage of you." So, yeah, he was very
Mhm.
honest, and I really appreciate that, and like I said, we're friends until this day, and it's been over 20 plus years.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
See, we got some people in the building in here. What the people in here already starting to talk about?
Listen, she is so right, Q, Imma say Q because I don't wanna butcher her name. London says talk, but Q says, "You're right, Tanya. Most men would have capitalized off that opportunity and smashed if nothing else."
Oh
And
yeah,
that's what made me appreciate him that much more because he did not take advantage of the opportunity that was presented. He was like, "Man, she liked me, so I'm a," you know what I mean? But he
yeah,
didn't, and that what made me that what and to be honest with you, because of his honesty, that made our bond a little stronger. And like I said, we've been rocking 20 plus years and we're still cool to this day. And now, of course, he is, happily married with kids and, and
mhm.
we're still cool. And I actually have a relationship with his wife as well. Me and his wife is cool as well. So, yeah, but I really
That's what's
appreciate
up.
that.
I
Yeah.
definitely respect that.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's not an easy path to, that's not an easy line to walk. I mean, we talk about, people in fact, we've got a whole lot going on in the dating scene anyway with people, and nobody
Mhm.
wants to feel rejected, not a man, not a woman, but to be honest, I feel like that's a difficult thing for a woman. I can't even put myself in that situation to even think that. That's tough, and that is why people often don't say anything. They kinda keep it under the wraps, you know what I mean?
Right.
Let me ask you
I don't know what made me say something. I don't know whether he was might have been smelling good that day or looking, I don't know. But I was like, "Imma tell this man how I feel." And he received it, but like I said, he told me, he's like, "Well, Tori, I don't feel the same way," which I respected that so much more. But go
mhm,
ahead.
I like that, but what I was gonna say, for a lot of women, I know that we really have a great respect for our male friends and those platonic male friend relationships because a lot of the times we feel no pressure for romance, you know? That's
Mhm.
really what a platonic relationship offers for us because it eliminates that pressure of romance, it eliminates that pressure of sex. So you get an opportunity to enjoy someone of the opposite sex without feeling
Mhm.
obligated to pursue anything romantic or pursue anything sexual, and that can be fun. That could just really be a fun and enjoyable relationship.
Right. Absolutely.
Mhm.
And Q says, I think a lot of people don't say anything also because of the other person's relationship status. Absolutely.
Ooh,
Absolutely.
yeah, that would be one. That definitely would be one.
Absolutely. And I
Mhm.
actually had an opportunity, I had a flip side, male friend having an attraction to me, and he told me that he had an attraction to me. And here's the thing with him. Now, I don't mind a man to express himself and tell me how they feel, but when you have a motive and you knew that you were actually trying to holler at me, don't play the game like you're my friend. You're picking up my son, you're taking time out with my son. My son can call you anytime, but you only did that because you were trying to impress me.
Mhm.
Thinking that I'm thinking, "Oh, this is a good role model for my son," but the whole
But
time.
did you feel that initially? Because, we you could tell when a man likes you.
No, honestly,
He
I
gave
didn't feel,
no
and so
clues.
I had no clue because he was doing a lot. I had no clue, and let me tell you why I didn't think about it, to be honest with you, because he's a man of the cloth minister, and I was like, "Oh, this is a good," and then when I told my brother about it, instantly, he was like, "Tori, that man like you." I'm like, "Nah." He's my Tori, he likes you. I was like, "Nah, it
Mhm.
ain't like that." So after a few months went by, he told me. He was like, "I really, really like you. I really wanna start something." And I'm like, what? No, bro." But here's the thing, when just like I was telling you guys earlier, I was able to handle when the guy told me he didn't feel the same way about me. But when I told the guy that I didn't feel the same way about him, he actually started slandering my name. He actually started talking bad about me. He stopped spending time with my son and all of that. And
Mhm.
I was like, "What?" And yes, Q, he was single. He was single. He sure was. But
Wow.
I just thought he was just being a nice person because, like I said, he was a man of, minister. And I was like, I thought because, there's some good people out there. So I thought he was just being a good person. But he had an ulterior motive. He was
Mhm.
trying to use my son to get next to me. So that's why now I'm very careful of who is in my son's life. Do you have a motive? Are you really there for the right reason? I pay attention to that more now. But at
Right.
that particular time, I didn't look at it that way. Not at
Wow.
all.
Wow, wow, wow. I see LaQuantia here, she says she think that was clue number 1 that he wanted more. I'm
Because he
kind
was
of agreeing with
single?
you here. I do, because when a person comes out of the gate just doing so much for you, I wanna know what's going on behind this, because it's like, you don't know me like that. We don't know each other well enough for you to be doing those type of things. That what's the motive, you know?
Yeah.
So I would just be looking at it with a little side eye and wondering what's going on.
And honestly, I didn't, but now I question everything. Now I'm questioning everything, and this was probably, because 'cause my son is 17 now, and I wanna say this was probably at least 10 years ago. So at the time, he was maybe 7 years
Mhm.
old, 7 or 8, and I didn't think nothing of it. I was like, he's a good dude." But yeah, but I pay attention to everything now. I'm thinking nowadays, I'm thinking everybody got a mobile. Now it's to the point where I'm like, "Dang, they being a little bit too nice." I pay attention to it more now, but back then I didn't, give it much thought. I just thought he
Let
was
me tell
being
you.
nice.
Amina has a good point here. I think you should kinda read what she's talking about.
Amina says love bombing is the term associated with that behavior. It's a manipulative tactic. It really and truly is.
Yeah.
It
He
really
coming in with
is.
all that love and all that attention and, being a good
Yeah.
person, doing so much for you. That love
Mhm.
bombing, when a person is trying to
Yeah.
so quickly gain
Yeah.
your trust and get in a relationship with you,
Yeah.
red
And see, this
flag.
is the thing, and this is the thing. He would spend time, pick my son up, but then what shoulda gave it away was towards the end. He was like, "Won't you join us? Won't you come out and join us?" And I'm like, "Okay." So a couple times I did go to, out to dinner with them. And I was like, and he was just like, "You need anything?" And I'm like, "I'm good." But of course you pay for the meal or whatever. But after that we'll go home. But yeah, towards the end, I was like, maybe we kind
Girl,
of like, but then I was like,
he was
yeah.
trying to make y'all look like a whole family. Clutch my pearls. I'm so nervous. Ooh, wow.
Right. And this is the crazy part. The couple times we did go out in public, I'm like, Lord, I hope, because I wasn't attracted to this person. So I'm like, God, I hope nobody don't see me. And the last time
Wow.
somebody saw, and then it's crazy how it's like some people saw us, and it's like he purposely went out of his way to speak to these people, like, because I guess he wanted to see, well, I'm with Tori, and then of course, when people see you together, they assume, well, y'all must be. And like, no, we're not together, we're friends. And he looking at me like, why you
Listen.
got to be like that?
I don't even want my kid around someone that I'm dating initially, so,
Right.
that's a little bit of red flag. I'm paying attention to those things, or at least I did when
Right.
my kids were younger, you know what I'm saying? I see Q here, she has
Mhm.
another comment. She says, "I think the average single man is not going to invest anything in a single woman they're not trying to be with. As my grandma would say, not an ageable man." Woo,
Right.
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
Right.
He had a motive and he thought, "Hey, I can get in." He looking at, being a single mother, and how could he, appeal to your vulnerability of being a single mother. And so he's like, "Okay, well, Imma take care of the kid. This is something that she's gonna like. A woman wants, you know, someone to be
Right.
there." And you had a son? Girl, red flag, red flag, red flag. Woo, good lord. You feel me?
Listen, it's sticking out now like a sore thumb as I'm talking about it, but honestly, back then, I didn't pay attention to it.
Mhm.
And Landon says, so glad to hear you all not playing about security, especially of youth. Absolutely.
We
Absolutely.
have to. We can't.
Yeah. Amina says the crazy thing is people who love bomb in the beginning start to breadcrumb you later. Woo! Let me read that again.
Come
The
on.
crazy thing is people who love bomb you in the beginning start to breadcrumb you later. Woo! They thrive off of anxious, avoidant attachment and interactions, the tug and pull type of dynamic. You definitely have to be wary of that. Ooh, wee! Listen, Isaac. Woo!
Okay.
Listen. And Q says, there you go, Tanya. You have to pay attention to the red flags always. Trust me, y'all. I
Yeah,
got my radar on now, but
we
I'm
do.
that person. I'm that person that I always try to see the good in people. But now I see that sometimes that could be to my downfall because I see the good in people. I'm thinking that they're just a good person. But it's just like my brother picked up on it immediately. Another guy friend I told about immediately. He's like, Tori, he likes you. I'm like, nah. And come to find out, he really and truly did. But the men in my
Mhm.
life that really truly care about me, they picked up on it immediately. They was like, he's not doing all that for nothing. He really
Right.
likes you. And I'm
You
thinking,
in
oh, he's just a
danger,
good
girl.
guy. I'm thinking, oh, he's just nice. And he's taking up time with my son. Oh,
Red flag, red
listen.
flag. I am so glad that you shared that because somebody needs to hear that. That is a really big thing for a single mother, and particularly if she has a son. They know that. They know it, you know? And it doesn't
Yeah,
matter how good of a person seems to be, and if they happen to be looked upon well in the community, that's one thing, but people are so different behind closed doors. Let me tell you,
right.
that thing is just an image. So I don't care if they're a lawyer, doctor, pastor, bread maker. It, just because they have an image in the community, people don't know what's going on behind those closed doors. And you can't
Mm,
let their occupation speak for them.
right, right, right. And Q says you can see the good in a person and also be aware of their intentions. And that is so true. Now, Q,
Yes,
let me
ma'am.
say this. Now, back then, my discernment wasn't on the level that it is now. Now my discernment is so high that I can spot the BS now. But back
Absolutely.
then, I ain't gonna lie, my discernment was not that high. But now,
I mean,
based on the conversation, I can immediately tell now. But I wasn't there back then. I
we
just
go through ages and stages, and that is
yes.
why these conversations are important. Like I said, there's
Yeah.
somebody out there in that stage where you were, and they need to hear this. They really do,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Because I got to tell you, and you know this too, because you mentioned that you do have friends who are platonic, and yes, you can have those type of relationships. I do have them, very sincere,
Mhm.
and a couple who happen to be in my children's lives, and actually, they more or less treat my kids like, niece and nephew type status. It
Right.
wasn't any type of, love bombing type of situation. It was a real friendship, a friendship that I'd had for years and years and years, and they accepted my family even when I was married, accepted my husband and my family and my kids the whole time. And so after I was divorced, still same type of practice. And so I knew that those relationships were genuine. We always communicated, have a very close friendship. Our wives and spouse, his wife, like I said, when I was married, my husband, they knew that we have a great relationship. Even our social circle knew that we're really good friends. And I got to tell you, honestly, I never, 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 never have we been in a situation where sex has been an issue or has been brought up. Never made me feel uncomfortable, never came on to me, never tried to come on to me. And people don't believe that, but it can happen. Now, don't get me wrong. I've had some that have tried. I have. But
Mhm.
listen, then the dynamics of that friendship kind of change, you know? And
Right.
although the relationship is still a platonic relationship and it's not a what should I say? Didn't just throw the friendship to the curve, but I
Right.
knew the dynamics were different. And then you get those
Right.
guys, you get those guys who are gonna come in and they really wanna disguise themselves as a friend, and I know that too because I can feel the attraction, I know that they're attractive, but I also know that it's important to be, very upfront and to be very open and to let them know that I do not have an interest. I'm not interested, I don't wanna I don't wanna lead anyone on because, number 1, I don't even wanna hurt anyone's feelings anyway, but particularly if I like you as a person and I feel that we can be friends, I don't wanna hurt you, I don't wanna lead you on, I don't want you to think that we will ever have a relationship, and if you become my friend, you're really gonna know that you don't wanna be in a relationship with me anyway. I'm not easy, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I I'm very upfront, and I think that's an important thing to do. You gotta just put it out there, and if they're gonna, think that they can friend zone or I don't know if friend zone is the right way to say it, but if they feel like they can friend their way in,
Mhm.
then, um, that's gonna be them breaking their own heart, you know?
Right. Right. I was looking at Amina's comment. Amina says, "It's so sad though, because I truly believe that so many people miss out on very fulfilling friendships because we are hyper focused on romance or sex. I've even had to take a step back from friendships with both male and females because they found themselves attracted to me in a way that made them want more than a platonic relationship. With the female friends, it was a little disappointing because I looked at them to be more like sisters, and I feel that living in a hypersexualized society causes people to compromise. Now, let me say this.
Ooh,
Let me piggyback off
ooh,
of what
let
Amina
me
said when she said,
wait, before hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Can we breathe on that a minute? Because I was
yeah,
gonna bring that up. 'Cause I do get offers
yeah.
from men, women, and children, and it is crazy in these days and times. So let's breathe that in.
Yeah.
Let's breathe in what she's saying because she said she had to step back from some friendships, both male and female, because we
Yeah.
really do live in a hypersexualized society right now. People are free
Yeah.
to be themselves, and let me tell you, they are coming on to you, they are attracted to you, they letting you know. So, it's almost like you can't even have friends of the same sex. Now go ahead
Right.
to how you feel about
No,
this.
leave that comment up there. I just want to say in the part where Amina was saying about the female, there was a female friend of mine that they lost a very dear family member. I don't want to say what who they lost because I don't want people to figure out who I'm talking about. But anyway, they lost a family member and they were very close to the family member. So what I did, I would send them encouraging scriptures. I would encourage them and they would even share with me that I was there for them more than their husband was. So then they said, "Well, I really appreciate you doing this, being there for me, giving me the encouraging words." Then she says to me, "Well, Tori, I find you very attractive." And she said some things that she wanted to do. And I'm like, "What?" And I was
Alright
like,
now.
"Ma'am," I'm like, "Ma'am, I don't."
Okay, okay, okay. We got people
I was
listen,
like,
I'd rather for them to express how they feel and let me know how they feel than try to hide it, because you're not gonna friend zone your way into my undies. That's not happening.
but see,
I'm
the thing was for
too grown for
me,
that.
I was like, "What?" So, I'm be honest with you, I immediately cut them off because I'm like, "How can I talk to you if you looking at me romantically?" So, to this day, I broke off the friendship because I they made
Okay,
it made me very uncomfortable.
it made you uncomfortable. Now
Yeah, it
stop
made me
right there.
very un
Stop right there. Hold on. I gotta ask you something.
Okay.
Because with the guy, you continue to
Mhm.
be friends, but with the girl, you cut it off.
And
Why?
did.
Why? Because they
Because
were both trying to take you into a sexual nature.
well, with the guy I remained friends with the guy because he actually backed off. But with her, it's like she kept pressing the issue.
Okay.
So that's why I cut it off. It's like you, even though I'm telling you that's not
I got you.
my mindset, she did kept pressing the issue and kept saying inappropriate things. Like if I have
Right.
on a certain outfit, you know, she would still say slick comments. So that what made me
Wow.
cut her off completely.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah,
Let's hear what
yeah.
Isaac here is saying.
Isaac says my group of friends now are female and makes combined, and we have women. My
Males.
group of friends now are female and mates combined, and we have never crossed the line ever. I mean, close, like been drunk and had to stay over or out of town and sharing a bed, and nothing ever happened. It's a level of maturity.
Thank you. Thank
That
you.
that's good. That's real good, Isaac.
I know that type of friendship. I know
Yeah.
that. You know,
Yeah.
like at a certain point in your life,
Mhm.
I mean, you've had sex and you know what sex is, whether you're going for the P or the D. You've
Yeah.
had some.
Yeah.
And you don't
Yeah.
let wanting some ruin a relationship. It's just a level of maturity. Sleeping
Right.
in the same bed and
Yeah.
nothing happened. And
Right.
nobody tried anything. And that's a friendship that I know too, Isaac. I
Yeah.
absolutely know that, you know?
Yeah. Landon says that friendship matters most to a man would never want to cross that line and mess up anything but truth great.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Respect.
Craig says, man, listen. Sexual, emotionally mature men can handle a friendship with a woman. Sex crazed boys cannot handle eye contact with a woman, let alone friendship with a woman.
And that's what I was saying.
Exactly.
Come on.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
the difference. That's what separates the boys from the men.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, when we put this as we talk about the subjects that we're going to talk about each day, sometimes I'll go ahead and put a post up and get the conversation started even before we get into the podcast because I'm curious to know where people's minds are. And
Mhm.
people started commenting on it pretty early. So I want to read a couple of the comments here. We got a comment from well, you guys know what the question is because you know what we're talking about. We're talking about platonic relationships. Can men and women be friends? Just friends. And we had a guy here, Michael Alexander, make a comment. And his comment is only if he isn't sexually attracted to that woman. Other than that, him portraying himself as a friend is just lame game that he's running. If you don't believe it, just ask any guy that's supposed to be your friend, would he like to smash if given the opportunity? If he says no, he's not attracted to you like that, but most will jump at the opportunity with no questions asked. And I don't know that he's wrong about that because there will be those type of situations. I mean, and he had so much to say as you kind of see I'm rolling through the comments here. He's had more than a few comments. Also, I see Genesis in the comments here. She says, "Yes, we can." So she, like us, and very many of us believe that, yeah, well, we can be friends because they're going to be people who are at a level of maturity and have their sexual nature and not run by their sexuality, that they can really be friends. But Michael goes here to say the ninja in your friend zone are just arbitrators waiting for you to slip up and give them the opportunity to smash. He says women ain't stupid. They know this all too well. So they will reap the non sexual benefits such as attention, validation, time, utility, and resources that they get from their arbitrators. Then they are set up perfectly to use plausible deniability if any of the arbitrators try to get out of the friend zone. He said, it amazes me as to how many men play themselves by behaving this way. I don't blame the women at all They are doing what they do to men that aren't attracted to them. It's all in the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game. But the game must be respected. It is what it is, and he's got a bunch of LOLs. Now he's got a lot in there. He's got a lot. You dig what I'm saying? Uh,
Yeah.
because basically he's saying like, women are reaping the benefits of the non-sexual benefits of attention, validation, time, utility, and resources. Now, I could say a lot to that because it appears to me that he's coming from just one side of the story. Listen, we're friends, and if we're out together, I'm not gaining any benefit that you're not gaining, and particularly if it's not a relationship in terms of a sexual relationship or any type of committed relationship, because my time is valuable. My attention is valuable. When I'm out with my male friends, they are getting my attention as well. If I'm out with my male friend who happens to be a platonic friend, I'm still not out here. My eyes aren't going to anyone else that I'm attracted to. I'm very focused on where we are. I'm very focused on that conversation. There's things that I do for him. I don't expect him to do everything for me. It is a give and take. So when I hear people, and particularly men who talk this way, I often feel like, well, what type of friend are you to attract that type of woman that you feel like you're just giving everything, and if you're not getting sex, that you've just been friend zoned? That's not what we're talking about. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree. I agree with what you said. Amina says, yes, it's a matter of maturity for sure. And agreement with Miss Tanya, if they really was honest, they don't want me for real, for real. I mean, I'm a vibe, but not all the time. They be in love with the idea of me or the limited version of me they have had access to in doses.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. Let me
Yes.
tell you something. My friends, and it's not so much that um, you're being a different person, but my male friends, my female friends, just let's just say my friends. My friends are getting not necessarily a different version of me, but they're definitely not getting what my lover gets from me. You don't get that type of attention. That I don't wear that outside. That's very much inside. So that's just how it is for me. You're gonna have no idea. Now, if we're the friends that we're having a conversation, you could probably have some clues based on conversation, but I'm also not very much like that. I don't really put my relationships out there like that. I don't even talk a whole lot with my friends about my personal relationships. My personal relationships are just that. And it's not so much that, you know, uh I don't want anyone to know that it's a secret or anything, but it's just private. I like my private life to be private. And I
Right.
also want to give that person who is special to me something that is just not out there. You dig what I'm
Right.
saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let me ask you this question. Have you ever had a situation where, say, you have um multiple male friends and one of the male friends get upset with you because they feel as if you're spending more time or engaging with the other one more so than them? They have a sense of jealousy, because I experienced that and I'm looking like, both of y'all my friends, so what's the problem? But one of them felt, well, you're spending more time with them, you're talking, and it seemed like you're more. I'm like, what?
Wow.
I didn't understand it. Like, why you gonna get jealous of another dude? I didn't know. It was mind-boggling to me. I just didn't understand it. Q says people that don't set boundaries don't understand that, Tanya. Absolutely. That's true,
Well,
Q.
that's their issue. But to answer your question, I gotta say no. I don't. And honestly, that sounds immature, you know? So anybody who has that particular behavior, I'm
Yeah.
probably not even friends with him. I'm
Listen.
not I'm not an easy person to even be friends with. It's not even you will not run into too many people who will tell you that we're friends. Like, they might know me, don't get me wrong, because I'm
Yeah,
personable with people, but they won't say that we're friends, and they honestly cannot tell you that we're friends because we're not.
right. Well,
I'm
that's
not
the
easy
point.
to
We
call people friends, and even if I
Yeah,
do there are people that I do things for. You don't have to be my friend for me to do something because there's a kindness and giving in me that I wanna do if I choose to do that. But doesn't mean that we're
absolutely.
friends. I don't miscommunicate anything. I learned very early. I learned very early because of this same topic that we're having, not to mislead a person and make them feel like there could possibly be more. I don't wanna do that. I've been in that situation, but I was really, really young. I'm talking about teenage years. You dig what I'm saying? So I was like,
Right,
"No, I'm not. I'm gonna be very clear. I'm gonna make sure that I don't hurt anyone's feelings because I wouldn't want it to happen to me, and I don't even know how this whole thing happened." So I learned that early. So
right,
communicating is very, very key. Do not leave room for misunderstanding. Do not leave room to hurt anyone. No one wants to do that, you know? And
right.
as you talk about that whole jealousy thing, in a platonic relationship, I have had, my platonic friends be critical of some of the relationships that I was in. I don't necessarily know that it was jealousy, but I've dated people that they didn't like, so I've been in situations where that has arrived. So I don't know. I don't know if that was jealousy, but they didn't like who I was going out with, and in the end, they ended up being right, but, um, that's where it was. And sometimes, what happens when you have that conflict where you feel like there's tension in those type of things? How do you deal with that, or have you had to deal with something like that?
In that particular situation, when you were saying earlier about that you don't have those type of friends,
Mhm,
well, me that this person, like I said, it was jealousy from their part. So
mhm,
this person made a decision that we are no longer friends. I reached out to them and they decided we're not friends. So it's no love lost on me because I'm a loving person and I don't deal with the drama. So it's actually wasn't a loss for me. It might have been a loss for them, but it wasn't a loss for me.
right.
So if there's gonna be some type of drama or if it's gonna be a forced relationship, friendship, it benefits me to detach anyway. So it's all good.
I wanna throw a monkey wrench in here,
Okay.
and y'all work with me. Anybody who wanna comment on this in the chat, come on in here with me, and because I feel like a lot of people have dealt with this. Now, has there been someone that you dated and had a romantic relationship with, right? And
Mm.
it broke up, but
Mm.
you became friends? Are you able to have a platonic relationship with that person after you've already had a romantic relationship? How does that work?
There is one person that I dated that I'm able to have a friendship with. And we actually we started out as close friends and we both decided to start dating. And we dated for years and both of our families loved each other. But here's the thing, it wasn't an issue on his part, it was an issue on me. I was young and I wanted to I decided to end the relationship. This man did everything. He treated me like the queen that I am, but I wanted to explore. So I ended the relationship and he was
Mhm.
heartbroken. And he was very hurt. To this day, it hurts him, but he has since moved on. He's, married and stuff, but we've still remained friends to this day, but there are boundaries. But I feel as though we're able to communicate, check on each other's, ask about our families and stuff, and there's nothing there. But I made the choice to end the relationship because I wanted to explore. And I feel like that was the biggest mistake that I could have made.
So
Looking
that
back
but
on it now, that was a huge mistake.
well, listen, everybody's got that, the one that slipped away, the one that you let
Right.
go. I think I got one of those too, girl. I got one too. Mm-mm. I can't
Right.
even tell y'all mine because a whole lot of people know this one. Hollywood, no. If you understand what I'm saying, I
Yes,
done
I feel
Sonya
you.
done been some places and I know some people and some people know me. You understand? I was like, "Ooh, talk about the one that got away."
Oh
But
gosh, yeah,
but we're
yeah,
still really good friends. Really,
yeah,
really good friends. Wouldn't change
yeah,
it, would do anything for me, I know it without a shadow of a doubt. Like, I
yeah,
promise you, like, when I tell you that I have no worry in this world because of this
yeah,
particular friend, like, I
yeah,
cannot have an emergency, I cannot want anything, my children could not want anything, the whole 9. That is how solid that friendship is,
that's
and it started out differently, if you dig what
right,
I'm saying, but
right,
nothing in respect to anything romantic at this point, um, not even an awkward or any tension in the relationship because we really have grown beyond that. I mean, it's been so many years and we both have marriages and relationships after this, so we just, develop a friendship, and that friendship just means a whole lot more than sex. It
right,
does. And I
right,
tell you what, I would prefer not to have sex with him to have the great friendship that we have because the unfortunate thing about a person that you become romantically and sexually involved with is that, your feelings really do get hurt when you end those relationships. It's hard because there's just a tie there that sex does, and those are some of the worst breakups. You don't break up with your good friends like that. Like, if we have a
mhm,
disagreement or we don't agree on something, then we find a way that we can communicate better, but if you just put sex in there, it changes
mhm,
the entire dynamic. There's
it
just so
does,
many external pressures, you know what I mean?
mm, right, oh my
So, I
god,
certainly appreciate it. I much rather like I say, you can get some sex from almost anywhere. Men are
right,
so freaking easy. You can get the D. I'd rather not mess up just friendship. I can just sleep with somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
right,
And they could just
right,
take the little butts on home and leave me alone. Do your duty, keep it moving.
right, 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 man. I was
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
at the
yeah.
comments, I was trying to keep up with the comments. There's some good comments that's coming up. And Q says that person wanted more than friendship and was very immature, Tori. Hmm.
Mhm.
Oh well.
Too bad.
Q also Q also says I have one platonic friendship after relationship, but the others we're cool. But if I say let's do anything, I know they'll be all in. Listen, there are going to be some of them exes. Hey, they still down.
Girl, I had just taken a sip of water. She almost made me choke. We got
Listen.
them. You know the ones that you can't go nowhere around. And them jokers be married, have girlfriends, and as close as they can get to your ear, they up in it. Listen, if you don't know, go to your high school homecoming because you will find out.
Right. Amina says, I feel that having post breakup platonic friendships are possible. I believe I could have with my ex after we did some healing, but I had to make a decision to let go of the platonic friendship out of respect for my husband and his girlfriend. Lots of love and respect for him though. I appreciate who we were for each other during that time. Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
That's good.
You gotta do that, and that's growth. You just gotta be the bigger
Yeah.
person. You know
Yeah.
that what you guys had doesn't work. Okay, yeah, that soul tie, like, once you have sex, there's a tie there undeniably, but you've
Yeah.
gotta grow and be bigger than that. I see
Yeah.
Craig got a message for me. He said, "Not all men are easy, Miss Tanya." Well, listen. I know not all men are easy, but the hoes is most of them is hoes, and most of them are easy, and I think it's time that women just go ahead and let the men know that we know that they're hoes because too many times
Oh
women
goodness.
have gone around here and they've been afraid to explore relationship after relationship for fear of being called a hoe by men when the numbers are very different. So when hoes is calling women hoes, I'm just a woman calling a hoe a hoe. But I love y'all though. I love the hoes too.
Oh, Q says all of the above, Tanya.
Ain't nothing wrong with being a hoe. Some
Oh,
men
goodness.
embrace their hoism. It's only when they become a
Lord.
certain age after that thing don't work the way it used to work when they was really hoeing that they get rid
Oh,
of the
my
whole days. Now
goodness.
that's a whole nother conversation. Don't let me go there. But you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
Hmm.
I'm trying not to laugh. You off the chain today, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said admission for today's conversation was what? What did we say admission was? You could get in here. You could.
Woo!
But admission
But that's
today
true though.
is
But it's
truth.
very true. It's very
So you're
true.
gonna have to tell the truth. All right? We're
Yeah,
talking
gotta
about all
tell
of
the
these
truth.
myths, truths, and everything in between. Not
Yeah,
all, not all, not
yeah,
everybody's gonna be that way. Just like not
yeah.
all women are. So
Right.
women, I just want women to know, go out here and express yourself. You out here saving something. We only living for a little bit of time on this earth. I don't know what you're saving it for. If you think you're gonna get a special prize in heaven or something, like, oh girl, you was abstinent for so many years. Congratulations. No, you better live your life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
Worry
would
about
you would
walk.
say that at the end of the show. You would oh.
No, but I'm just saying, women be out here
No,
worried
I
about
had
being
something to
called
say
a
about
hoe.
that.
No, I just want to say, women be out here afraid to be called a hoe by some hoes. That's just funny to
No.
me. But we gonna stick to the topic. We were talking about platonic relationships. Y'all dig it? We really were.
Oh, goodness.
And I would just say the bottom line is, in many cases, yes. Yes, we know mature people can become platonic friends. And it's
Mm,
really just going to depend on the specific relationships and circumstances of whatever your relationship was. So it's really going to be on an individual basis. I hope that you all will be able to benefit from having a friend of the opposite sex because there's a lot of benefits in that. You get to have conversations with someone with a different perspective on the opposite sex. They they can share some experiences with you, give you a way of approaching things. You've got a support system that you may not have with someone who is of the same sex. You're learning a whole lot about different genders. So there's a lot, and that big key one, because I think we should be able to go out and have a good time with the opposite sex and not feel pressure of romance, not have to feel that pressure of having to have sex at the end of whatever this outing is about. Just to have a fun and enjoyable time, to share something with someone who has common interests, you're engaging in activities that you like to do, and that's cool. Create some memories with a friend. You can do that. That's good for your health. Smile, laugh, have fun. Sex doesn't have to be involved. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was
that's
holding
what
my tongue.
well,
Oh,
you know
Jesus.
how I feel.
We gonna have to talk. We gonna have to have a whole we gonna have to have a show on that particular topic. What
Have
you
a show
just
on
said.
what?
What you just said about when you said women out here saving it, we gonna have to have it because I don't want to rush what I gotta say. I got a lot to say, so we got to do it. We gonna have to do a show on that.
I'm with it. I'm with it. Q with it.
Yeah.
Look at what she said. She said, live it. Got them hands up in the air. Girl, you better
Yeah.
live. And especially
Yeah.
as that time keep on ticking, ticking, ticking. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
better do that thing.
You know what?
I'm gonna stop acting up. I'm sorry. Yo, we gotta get out of here. We had the conversation. I'm glad that you all were able to enjoy us. Have some friends. Platonic friendships are lovely. Are there any closing things on the subject that you'd like to say, Tori?
You basically summed it up, and everybody summed it up. I want to thank everybody that comes in faithfully on Tuesdays and every day with Tanya, because she's been doing her thing. She's like 50 episodes in. I was telling her prior to going live, like, girl, you have been consistent. Like, oh,
I thought you was
Lord
giving
have
you were
mercy.
saying she is 50. I thought you was getting ready to tell my age, girl.
No, no, no. I'm saying you 50 episodes in, the consistency. I am so you encourage me to do more. Thank you, Q. Another great one, she says. Absolutely. And like I tell you guys all the time, make sure you tune in tomorrow and the rest of the week. Tomorrow is Wellness Wednesdays. Curious to know what Miss Tanya will be talking about tomorrow. I look forward to the noonday podcast. And of course, we get to cut up on Tuesdays with Talking Out Tuesday with Tori and Tanya. So I'll be back with you guys next Tuesday. But yeah, we got to explore that conversation a little more. Cause Tanya she was just saying so much. And I was like, I want to say this. But
Oh,
we ain't got that kind of time.
well, I'm gonna have to go back and watch this and hear what I said because I don't know. I was just I was talking.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
bringing out the truth. I was bringing it out. All right, check it out. Check it out. I appreciate you guys who came in for the ride. Thank you, Tori. Thank you. Always
you're
good talking to
welcome.
you. I love it. I love
All right.
talking out
Peace out,
Tuesdays.
y'all. Peace out,
All
y'all.
right,
You
y'all.
have an amazing day.
All right, y'all. It's time for us to get back into that work day. Lunchtime is over, so I want you to go back into it. I want you to know that yeah, we can be friends, but I want you to relax back into a good frame of mind. I want you to. I want you to breathe this thing on out. I had a whole lot of fun talking to you guys. I always do. Be clear. Make sure that you be clear. We don't need room for miscommunication. We're really grown folks out here. And lack of clear communication leads to misunderstandings and hurt feelings. And we don't need to do that. We got love out here. All right. Let's love on each other. We could use a whole lot more love. And platonic relationships can provide that for you. All right. Let's get into a little breath work, y'all. Let's get into it. Let's do some breath work. Inhale to the count of 4. Hold that a few seconds. Exhale. Hold that a few seconds. Inhale again. Hold a few seconds. Exhale. And hold that a few seconds. Inhale one more time. Hold a few seconds. And exhale. Yeah. Now, don't you feel great? I feel great. I appreciate you guys. And if nobody gave you a smile today, if nobody smiled today, you just close your eyes and give yourself a big smile and see how that feels for you. Right? Y'all be great out here. That's what we do. One love, y'all.